Hey there, sister. Welcome back to the Girl Out of Order podcast. I am so thankful that you have joined me today because this is a really special episode to me. I'm going to be sharing a story of a recent experience that has profoundly touched me and changed me. And I cannot wait to share this in our community because I know that the issue of feeling like you belong is so huge with women. And finding a place where you feel at home, where you can be truly yourself, can sometimes be very challenging. And I had a recent experience that I wanted to share with you that gave me some insights into what it takes to increase our feeling of belonging and the importance of finding that tribe, finding that place where you can be fully yourself. But before we dive in, I have a couple quick announcements. First and foremost, 1 week from tomorrow, the day after this, the day I'm saying tomorrow. So this podcast is dropping on, oh, you know what? Never mind. Let me say it a different way. On Tuesday, February 4th, we are starting. I'm so excited. It's been a year, almost a year in the making. The Who Are You Really Mastermind. It is a 7-week journey through the 5 phases of identity creation. We have such a beautiful group that is forming, and we only have a couple spots left. So it's not too late. If you want to get signed up to join us on this journey, it's going to be Tuesday night for 7 straight Tuesdays from 6 to 7:30-ish. I say ish because, women, we like to talk, for 7 beautiful weeks. I would love to have you join us. So if you want to get some more information in the show notes, there'll be a link to the website where you can get the information and get signed up. Like I said, there's only a couple spots left. We'd love to have you with us in this beautiful group of women that is forming to go on this ride together. And then I also wanted to ask you if you would do me a favor. If you're a listener to the Girl Out of Order podcast, help me get this message out. We need your help to to share the podcast, to do a written review, to get us a little bit more exposure so that we can help more women. Girl Out of Order, I created this podcast because I needed it. I needed a place where I could discuss the things of life, where I could feel like I could be my true authentic self, and a place where I could help other women stop contorting their beautiful selves to fit molds they were never designed for. Listen, we need a community to help us live lives that are truly meaningful and impactful. And you know what? Sometimes, let's be honest, it's really freaking hard. Sometimes societal expectations, the expectations of our boss, our friends, our children, sometimes the expectations of ourselves, the woman we see in the mirror, can be overwhelming and a little bit suffocating. So Girl Out of Order is that safe place where you can come and you can be seen. You can see yourself in the messages. You can join our community and share and encourage one another. But I need your help to get this message out further and farther. Oh my gosh. We've had people download this episode from Bangladesh and from, oh my gosh, from countries in Africa and South America. We've had almost all 50 states, but we need help. We need help to get this message out. So please leave a written review. I would appreciate that. And share this message. If it resonates with you, share it with somebody you love. Because like I said, we're better in this together. Okay, let's dive into today's message. So I've titled this message, oh, sorry, I'm just thinking about the story I'm going to tell you. I've titled this message, Finding True Belonging. And I'm going to tell you the lessons that I learned in the Dominican Republic, my recent trip. So finding true belonging for me has been a lifelong quest. Even saying that title got me a little bit emotional, to be honest. Because ever since I was a little tiny girl, I felt like I didn't belong. Can you relate? From my earliest memories, I felt like a square peg in a freaking round hole in every circumstance, every situation, from my classroom to the to the groups at the YMCA, to the summer camps, to the dinner table, I've struggled to find a sense of belonging. And so I wanted to come in here on the eve of starting my Who Are You Really mastermind. I have been so immersed in identity work and thinking about helping these women, find their true identities and gain strength from this collective and this tribe. And it's made me very aware that I still, to this day, wrestle with feeling like I belong. It's getting better for sure, but this is a Come Along With Me podcast. I am sharing with you my journey in the hopes that you'll feel less alone, more encouraged, more inspired, and more determined to build life, a life that you love, a life that is successful and fulfilling according to your terms, not mine, yours. But what I've come to understand is that belonging is a powerful emotion that runs across the lives of all women, no matter your age, your status, your race, where you live. We all have a craving to feel like we have a place that we belong. So recently, I just came back. Gosh, it feels like it's so far ago. I've had so many things happen since I've returned, but I just recently returned from a trip to the Dominican Republic with my True Legacy Collective sisters, the amazing mastermind that I'm a part of with Lauren LaHave. And we went there with the theme of contribution. And it was such an incredible trip. I cannot tell you, I guess I was a little bit uninformed, a little bit ignorant about the Dominican Republic, to be honest. I knew that it shared an island with Haiti, and I do know quite a bit about Haiti just because I'm really interested in current affairs. I study politics. I'm very aware of where there's wars, and my in-laws have also served in Haiti. And so I kind of equated the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and I'm almost a little bit embarrassed to admit that. I mean, they do share an island, but they're very, very different countries. But they have one thing in common. There is abject poverty and desperation in both communities. And so when I went to the Dominican Republic with the goal of my serving alongside my TLC sisters of contribution, I was so excited because I don't know about you, but I get so fired up when I have an opportunity to serve others less fortunate than me. And so I was gathering supplies at the dollar store and at the Goodwill store. I was going through my closet, packing my suitcase with those vacuum sealed bags with as much clothing and toys and school supplies and stickers and all the things that I could possibly fit in my suitcase. And I was so excited to get there. And it was an amazing, amazing experience. And there's something that happens when you are serving alongside women that make you feel like you belong. Why is that important? Because when you have a transformative experience like I had in the Dominican Republic of serving these children who are so desperate and have so little, being able to do it with my family, with women that I am so like-minded with, so like-hearted with, took it to a completely new level. And I must admit, it wasn't until I had this experience that I'm going to tell you about in a minute in the Dominican Republic, before we went and did our service, it wasn't until I had that experience that I felt really locked into this tribe. So I've been part of the TLC group since March of, I guess we started really in April 1st of 2024. And I've had 2 incredible trips with these women. We meet weekly. We're diving in. We've got accountability groups. I've got accountability partners. And And I really, truly know that I've found my home. But what took place in the Dominican Republic for me, and I'm going to tell you about it here, and I want to take you on a journey, revealed that I still had walls up and fears that I didn't truly belong in their eyes. You see, because I see these women and I'm like, I want them. It's like you ever meet those women, those people in your life, like, oh my gosh, I totally want that person to be my friend. She's going to be my friend. She's going to be my friend. Because let me just tell you this right now, Mel Robbins, she's going to be my friend someday. I am manifesting it. Jen Hatmaker, she's going to be in my tribe. There are certain people where I'm just like, definitely know they're my spirit animals. I want to be with them. I want to be around them. I want to serve them. I want to learn from them. I want to just be in their presence. I have felt that way about my TLC sisters from day freaking one. I love this tribe. I love these women. And when I'm with them, I feel stronger. I feel more alive. I feel more excited about life. And I feel so safe. So saying all that, you might be wondering, okay, that sounds great. Then what was the problem? What belonging did you need? Well, real talk here. Let me set the stage. So I told you about the serving that we did, but where we were staying, I don't honestly know if I could come up with words in the human language to describe this beautiful place that we were privileged to stay at in the Dominican Republic. We stayed in the home of Lucy. I don't know how you say her. Daughtry, I think is how you say her name. I know how to spell it, but I'm probably massacring it. But we stayed in her beautiful home. And this woman has a lot of material resources, more than I've ever seen. And she has a heart of gold to serve. She's a philanthropist. She opens hospitals. She sponsors schools. She's an icon of business and philanthropy and generosity and kindness and wisdom. And being able to stay in her home was a privilege. But what really made this experience extraordinary was being able to sit with her, to learn from her, to listen to her, to ask questions of her. She is such a fountain of wisdom and insight and spirituality. And I'm so grateful. This experience with Lucy and in her home and in her presence has changed me forever. And so I want you just to, if you wouldn't mind, just if you're driving, please don't do it because that'd be very dangerous, but just close your eyes. I want to set the stage. We're staying in this magnificent, I want to call it a palace. It was just so beautiful. It's on the ocean. So you can feel the Caribbean breeze is blowing and the palm trees are swaying and the pool is magnificent and you can hear the waves crashing. And as you walk out from her beautiful home, off to the left, she has created this thing called a labyrinth. And it's this incredible, God, I don't even know how to describe it. But it's this stone creation. And it's literally what you think of as a labyrinth. Think of it as a maze. And she comes walking out and she takes us down to the labyrinth and she's wafting this beautiful sticks of sage. If you've ever smelled burning sage, then you know what I'm talking about. It takes you to a certain place. It cleanses. It clears the path for the spiritual impact of what you're going to be doing. And we all walk down there. She has this beautiful music playing. This woman singing, so melodic. So you just can feel your body starting to sway. And she explains what you do in the labyrinth. So you stand at the beginning of the labyrinth and then you pay homage. So you put your hands together and you just pay homage to God, spirit, universe, whatever, however you choose to worship. And then you enter the labyrinth. And in the first half of the labyrinth, you walk as slowly or as quickly as you need to. And in the first half of the labyrinth, you think of all of the things you want to release, all of the emotions, the people, the thoughts, whatever you need to let go of that's keeping you stuck, that's hurting you, that's causing you trauma. And you take, like I said, as much or as little time as you want, and you walk this labyrinth until you get to the middle part, and there's 5 circles. And then each of those 5 circles, you start to think about a certain area of your life or a certain person or a certain thing that you want to manifest. And you just open yourself up because you've cleared the way by releasing all of these things that are stuck. And then you stand in these circles and you welcome in what you are manifesting, what you are wanting, what you are craving, what you are desiring for your life in these 5 different areas. And then you walk out of the labyrinth. And in the second half, as you're walking out to exit the labyrinth, you then just manifest and you speak it as if it's true. And there's like this beautiful victory. And then you walk out of this labyrinth having this really beautiful cleansing and welcoming. Okay. So now I've set the stage for it. And here's where it got incredible for me is you're doing this labyrinth in our particular experience with all of my TLC sisters. So there are women that have entered the labyrinth before me, and there are women that are coming in behind me. And I'm very aware of how unbelievable this experience is. So I'm like, trying to release. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me like with my balled up fists because I'm like, I need to release anxiety. I need to release this feeling of being an imposter. I need to release. And I'm so up in my head. It was going on. And I'm getting increasingly frustrated because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push the release. I'm trying to force things out of me instead of welcoming the release, instead of inviting the release, instead of I'm just feeling like I don't belong in this group because I'm struggling, because I'm straining, because I'm holding on to negative thoughts, negative beliefs about myself, disempowering garbage that is keeping me depressed, anxious, worried, fearful. I think of pearl clutching and I'm just feeling so small. And so as I approached the beginning, as I approached those 5 circles, I'm feeling so defeated. And I'm thinking to myself, Christine, you've lost this opportunity, this beautiful spiritual experience. You screwed it up. What is wrong with you? Why can't you just freaking figure this out? And I'm ashamed to say, shame isn't a very powerful emotion, but I'm sad to say that I was really beating myself up. Because I'm kind of starting to look around and watching all these women start to have these beautiful emotional experiences. And I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? I'm missing this opportunity. I'm never going to have this chance again, is what I told myself. And while that's also not, that sounds even icky saying it, it did make me pause. Remember we talked about the power of the pause, and ask myself, what can I do differently in this moment now to have a different experience? And so I made a decision, instead of focusing on me and all the things I was frustrated with, all the things I wanted to release, all the things I wanted to let go, I made a decision, I'm going to pivot and I'm going to step into these circles, and I'm going to take each circle and I'm going to concentrate on one daughter for each of the first 4 circles, and then focus on my husband for the last one. So I took the shining, icky spotlight that wasn't serving me off of myself. And I chose in that moment to focus on the most important reasons for everything I do, the people I love the most. And as I stepped into that first circle, I just started thinking about Chloe. And you know how your brain plays tricks on you and your brain is like wants to pummel you with all these other thoughts. And I could feel them just kind of trying to come in the brain and thinking about Chelsea and Delaney and Sophie and Sean. I'm like, no, this is Chloe's circle, damn it. And I just started focusing on Chloe. And all of a sudden there was this shift inside me. And this movie reel started going through my head of her as a baby and as a toddler, as a preschooler, a school age. And all these memories came flooding. And I just felt so much gratitude and emotion started welling up in me and the tears started pouring down my face. And I felt a deep longing for my daughter because she's 24 now. She doesn't live here. I don't see her very often, but I felt a craving for her presence. And I just started becoming overcome with emotion. Have you ever done that where you've started thinking about an experience that was so beautiful, whether it's parenting or a marriage or maybe the passing of a loved one or one of your greatest achievements or one of your greatest failures, and the movie reel starts playing and something happens inside you. Your heart starts to crack open and things start flooding out. And that started happening for me. And then I moved to the second circle and I started thinking about Chelsea. And sisters, I don't know if it was the combination of the sea breezes and the beautiful music and the sage in filling my nostrils and the presence of all of these incredible women around me, but the tears became sobs, and the sobs became wails. And I just felt this opening in my spirit. Hear me. What cracked me wide open wasn't using my brain to noodle through all of the ways I can let go of all of the thoughts and they're keeping me stuck. It was just focusing on the gratitude for what I already have. My heart started to melt and my emotions overcame me. And what happened next took me by complete surprise. You see, when we were getting ready to enter into this labyrinth experience, Lucy said, if one of your sisters has what she called a cry out, if one of your sisters has a cry out, I love that phrase, let her feel what she needs to feel. Don't rush in to help her. Just let her have her moment. And so I was completely taken aback when I heard Lucy say, ladies, one of our sisters needs our support. And I was like, hey, I thought she said we weren't supposed to do that. But I was like, okay, amazing. Because if you guys know me, you know one of the things I love the most in life is being able to support one of my sisters. I was like, who is it? Let's go. And I was ready to just leave my moment and rush in to serve another sister who turned out to be me. And I felt Lucy's powerful, beautiful, feminine arms. And gets me so emotional. Wrap around my neck and my shoulders, and she pulled me to her in the most beautiful mother love. And all of a sudden, all of my TLC sisters started surrounding me, and I could feel their hands. And Lucy said, let's surround our sister with love, and let's sing to her. And the song that was going was Sa Na Mata. Sanamata, Sanamata. And it just is this beautiful chant, and it means love. And all of a sudden, all of my sisters are singing to me, and I'm singing with them. And we are all of a sudden swaying as one body. One beautiful sisterhood. And I could feel myself shutting down. Didn't expect that, did you? Here is this beautiful experience happening, and I am in my head going, pardon my language, oh fuck. Oh no. All of these women are going to be so resentful and mad because I took their moment away, because now everyone's focused on me. Oh no, this can't be happening. Oh my gosh, I wanted to run screaming from that circle and make it stop, because I didn't want to be that person that took other women out of their experience. Have you ever had that moment where you are feeling so vulnerable and you don't want that attention because you're afraid of how others might think, feel, or react? That was my thought. And so something had to happen, because otherwise I was going to miss this experience too. And it did. And one of my beautiful sisters named Sandy, out of nowhere, says, and she told me later because I had to piece these experiences together, she says, and it was in my left ear, "We love you. We support you. You belong." And the minute she said, "You belong," the dam inside me broke. And I let go of every inhibition that was any part of my mind, my body, and my spirit. And I collapsed in Lucy's arms, and I just started crying and laughing and dancing and swaying and singing with my sisters, because in that moment, 53 and a half years of feeling like I didn't belong just washed away. It dissipated. It no longer held power over me. And I knew that I was home. It was one of the most beautiful, transformational, spiritual experiences of my life. And I am forever changed. Why am I sharing this with you today? Because I know that not everybody belongs to a beautiful mastermind. And I know that not everybody can travel to the Dominican Republic and walk through a very wealthy woman's labyrinth and experience something like that. So why am I sharing that on the Girl Out of Order podcast? Because I want you to know that there is so much power in belonging. And you can find, you can cultivate, you can give the sense of belonging to other women. This should be a very high priority for you if you want to live authentically and have a compelling life. Find a place, a tribe, a family, a relationship where you truly and completely belong. I know that this is a pain point for so many women, and we hold ourselves back. I shared this experience with you because even in that situation where I already felt that this was my tribe, where I was in this beautiful tropical place, where I was in this spiritual labyrinth, having an opportunity to let it go and to manifest and to invite it in, I put up walls. And what I want for you, sisters, is to create belonging for yourself by bringing your own walls down. We don't live lives of connection if we have walls of protection. So you don't have to go to the Dominican Republic to do that. You can create belonging. And now. You don't have to travel around the world. You don't have to belong to a mastermind. You can create belonging by becoming an open-hearted woman and letting your walls come down. Do the work of building an authentic life, and belonging will come. So let me just give you just a couple of things that you can do to create and cultivate a sense of belonging in your own life. Practice vulnerability. Yes, I said practice, because vulnerability is a muscle that we need to build. We need to exercise in order to have a deeper sense of belonging. If you aren't willing to open up and share your true self with others, belonging is going to remain out of reach. When you share with others, you create deeper, more meaningful relationships. You build that sense of connection. Yes, it's risky. I get it. You got to take a chance, but isn't it worth it? For me, in that moment, even in that very hyper spiritual, beautiful gathering, I wanted to hold back. And what I would have missed if I wasn't willing to be vulnerable. That leads me to my second little challenge to you, invitation. Seek out like-minded communities. You're already listening to the Girl Out of Order podcast. Join our podcast community. In fact, keep an eye out, because we've got gatherings happening. Join the Who Are You Really Mastermind. Get yourself around people who are going where you're going, who think like you, who want the things out of life that you want. Get with other women who align with your values. Join a church, a synagogue, a mosque. Join a mom's group. Whatever you need to do to get around people that think like you, that believe like you, that want the same things or similar things out of life. And be willing to try, what I would say, be willing to have a few swings and misses, because not everything you try, not every group you join is going to be the one. Just keep showing up. Just keep trying. And I love this one, and I'm going to wrap up with this. Give without expectation. So I started the podcast by talking about the contribution that we did in the Dominican, and I want to wrap it up with that. Because it's not just about giving in my mastermind, which I love to do. Like I said, I was super excited to support my sister, not realizing it was going to be me. But I give to my sisters. I reach out. I touch base. I check in on them. I listen to them. I support them. I offer my help and resources without expecting anything in return. And then when we were able to do that contribution side by side, it was just a much more beautiful, elevated experience. So you can join nonprofits, serve at the food pantry, help in the single moms ministry at church. Start volunteering. That, my sisters, builds a sense of belonging. Because when we as a mastermind went into this beautiful little school where these children have next to nothing, not even a completed building, and eat soupy beans and rice for lunch, and we're able to bring smiles to their faces and give them hugs and loves and kisses and stickers and let them do our hair. And we did that together. We have a shared experience that just deepens that sense of belonging. So how about you? Do you have a place or places where you feel true belonging? Is that a craving in your heart? If so, I would invite you to ask yourself, what can I do this week to begin to put myself out there and find places that I can belong? How can I give? How can I love? How can I serve? How can I connect? Become the woman you want to belong with, and I truly believe that belonging will come. Thank you so much for listening and going on a journey through my experience in the Dominican Republic. I want you to know that I haven't arrived, but I am on the journey alongside you. And I want to create a place in the Girl Out of Order community where you can feel like you belong. Belonging is a powerful human craving, and you deserve to be in a place where you feel that sense of true belonging. We're in this together. We're on the journey. We're on the path. We're building lives of growth, contribution, and vibrancy. And belonging is a powerful part of it. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next time.